Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. Oh, that came in quick. Let's see. See yours.
It should be there, right?
Yeah, it just came up for me. I see yours.
Oh, you can see mine? Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah.
Okay. That's that one. All right, that's good. All right, I think the notifications went out now. Let's see.
Yeah, yours popped up as well.
Okay, Con. All right. So we here. We're live. And shalom to the Akim.
Hey, shalom.
Sincere listening and learning. And first and foremost, we would like to give all praise, glory, and honor be to Yahweh,
Bashim,
Hashem, Rakaha, Kodash.
Hakadosh.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect, the tabernacle of David. As always, beginning with the 144,000 and the rest of the men, women, and children out of the 12 tribes whom Yahweh Bashem Yahushai will ultimately have mercy upon in these last days. All right, we are GMS Australia. I'm your brother Matazabov, alongside with the brother Yashar.
Hey, shalom, Akim, and your Aqua, Yahabashim, Shabrakatan.
All right, so you know what it is. All right, it ain't June, but it's May. All right, and the microchip. All right, which is the mark of the beast pursuant to Revelation, the 13th chapter. Okay, as you can see, we've titled this lesson, "The Vision is Speaking." Okay, it's not tarrying anymore. All right, and so what we're about to see in this video, it just confirms not only what John the Revelator received on the Isle of Patmos, but also beginning with the beloved elder apostle Tahar on down has been speaking of. All right, and as we've said, and I've said many a times as I go live with the beloved brother, since the start of 2026, Great Millstone has been the main camp alongside with the rest of the like men that teach the same doctrine. Is the only group that has been going into prophecies and aligning the things that are going on across the four winds and matching them up to prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, none of this. The Sabbath is on a Friday night to Saturday night. None of this, Passover dinner plates and going to the strip club. All right, none of this arguing, talking about some John the Baptist wasn't in the truth. No, right? And see, a lot of you Israelites, you're going to have a lot of blood on your hands because what you see here on the screen, okay, is what the apostles have been teaching for 30 plus years now and still going. And so what we hoping to do through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shah is run through this video. All right, me and my beloved brother, we're going to chime in where the spirit sees fit, get a few precepts, and we got a couple of other videos too, Lord's will we'll be able to get to them. But you want to start off with a precept?
Yeah, I got this is the book of Habakkuk chapter 2.
Yeah.
And another one I was thinking about was we always get it all the time. It's Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 33 as well.
I'll hold that for you. Yep.
Beautiful. So this is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 1, and I'm going to read through it. It says, "And I'll stand up on my watch and set me up on the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what shall I answer when I am reproved." And what you see right now is, like the brother mentioned, since the beginning of 2026, only Greg Millstone is being touching on prophecy. Okay, and as touching on prophecy, what are we doing? We're actually occupying, okay, until Yahushua comes, and what we are occupying in is prophecy, prophesizing. All right, so we've been doing that. Start from the apostles, elder bishops, the elders. We've been doing our work, okay, warning our people, telling them things that are about to happen in the future. And one of the major things that we've been telling you, that was written, the brother mentioned, that was written by John, John the Revelator in the book of Revelation chapter 13, is the MOTB, the mark of the beast, which where some camps and some leaders came against it. All right, and said it was it was not going to be a chip. It's embargo. It's sleeping with a so-called white woman. It's what else did they say it was, man? It's our philosophy. It's severance, like that new fucking zombie from Mississippi talking about severance. It's cameras, man. Shut up, nigga. Like, we got cameras everywhere watching us. How can you be that? You know what I mean? It can't be there. The scripture says that you're not gonna be able to trade, buy and sell. So what are you saying? So if I can go to the store if I got my camera, I got my phone on me. I'll look at my camera is working, doing all this. And nah, man, it ain't talking about that. And when you go to the word karagma, it goes into something that you have to cut into your flesh, right?
Yep.
Flesh. Something that you have to cut into the flesh. And that nigga was crazy that he cut himself because he mentioned the word karagma. When you look up the word karagma, is what going into your
Decision.
Incision account, and then he mentioned that, and I'm like, bro, like, do you not know what karagama means? Have you looked at you've obviously known the definition, but you want to be a demon and say it does not mean that. But anyway, let's carry on. So Graham Millstone and the rest of your brothers out there who teaches the same, not the same, who teaches the same doctrine, the doctrine of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. We the ones who've been talking about on these things, okay? 24/7. We don't stop. We stay repeating ourselves, man. Okay.
Yep.
So the Heavenly Father Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, he set us up to be those watchmen, okay? And when we see certain things like this taking place, and you got these people, individuals, YouTube speaking about it, we oh damn, that's what we've been talking about. Now is the J gonna listen to these people before they listen to us? We don't know. All right, but even them, you listen to them talking, they don't know what the fuck is going on. They don't know the program. They don't know how this program is gonna go. We know how this program is gonna go. We know how it's gonna end. All right. So it says, "I will stand up on my watch and set me up on the high tower," which we are. Okay, we watch to see what He will say unto me. And with the Heavenly Father Yahweh Hashem, it's like the way Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is speaking to us is by showing us these visions.
Yep.
Is by showing signs taking places worldwide. That's how He's speaking to us, or saying saying what He will say unto me. And what shall I answer when I am reproved? So what do we do when we see these things happening, taking place? If you feel how about Shem Yahshai, He's reproving you. Are you gonna go ahead and speak my word and give it as it is written? Are you gonna go ahead and butcher it, talking about the MOTB? Is this and that? No, we speak on what we know according to the Bible and give it. Right? And verse 2 says, "And the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yeshua answered me and said, write the vision, which the vision represents our prophecy, make it plain upon tables. It is written in the Bible, and it's plain. Okay, it's been broken down to the T. The apostles broke down all these heavy prophecies down to where, now, us brothers who came later after them, it's like a muscle memory, It's a muscle memory, And then when in the elect, when they or believers, when they do wake up, you break down like a same prophecy unto them, it's simple for them to understand because they can actually see with their eyes. Because
Yep.
if you can't see with your eyes, you won't believe it. If you can't see, you know how Pastor the Bible says, when you read the Bible, you gotta visualize it. If you can't visualize it, you won't be able to understand the Bible at all. You know,
I
it
got
says
that.
that he might run that readeth. Okay, the one that readeth is what is us, and also we know at one time we read it, we ran with it, and we gave to we gave to the ones that eventually who believed and came and believe and came and taught. Some of them are teaching, some of them are still believing, still holding on to the faith. All right.
Yep.
uh, and verse 3 is a key point. It says, "For the vision is yet for appointed time." Okay, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. The vision is this prophecy, it represents prophecy. And in this lesson, one vision it's like one vision that we are targeting is the mark of the beast. And right now it's speaking. Okay, now it's gonna become a main. It's gonna eventually it's gonna be what it's gonna hit mainstream news. It's gonna be all over TikTok, Instagram, okay, Snapchat, and then Facebook. And then that's when Easter's gonna be like, now we gotta stop this. The same way they did with the jump shot. Remember?
Hmm.
No, they're gonna. That's which I believe that's when Easter's really gonna take a heavy measurements towards which post on social media when you come when people start talking about his chip, because no, it's not even his chip, it's the chip of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yashaba. When people start talking about his chip, basically that's you ruining his NWO, if that makes sense, because
Yep.
this trip is a big fucking major to what Esau's NWO is heading to. Without the chip, there's no NWO for this devil. Okay, because Jake don't understand. Remember, Esau wants a full control, and then for him to can't bring in a full control is him tracking you. These phones we got, whatever your cameras, that shit can't really track you down like that, man. You can go, you can disappear and be gone. You know,
Yep.
fucking destroy these phones. Chuck them in the water, like the assurance to chuck in the water. Boom, gone. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? You can do that. Take the battery and just destroy. No charges. The goddamn phone. How they gonna know where you were? You see what I mean? You know.
God.
So it says, "For the vision is yet for the appointed time, but at the but at the end shall speak." And right now, it's speaking. You know,
Hmm.
it's speaking, and the ones who can see and understand it, beautiful. You can see it, but the ones who can't get it, man, we look. We're doing our job, and we're not gonna
Yep.
go back and forth with individual coming on the comment board about this individual. The MOTB is a severance. The MOTB is sleeping with a white woman. The MOTB is a philosophy. The MOTB is a embargo. It is, no. If you come with our bullshit, man, we're gonna say, look, man, fuck off. Have a nice day. All right, because man, start with the pastors. You know how many videos being done on Revelation chapter 13 from verse 14 to the last verse.
Yep.
So many lessons, man. And I'm
Hundreds
talking
of
about it's like
hundreds of videos.
yeah, and we're talking about like maybe a minute or 2 minutes lessons, 3 minutes lessons, 7 minutes lessons where it does not require you to sit down or 2 hours. It's
Yep.
plain. It's plain, man.
Straight to the
It
point.
says, yeah, beautiful. It says, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wherefore it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry, and that's what Jake is about to see. And when he gets here, man, remember Jake is going to be called like when MTV gets here, they're going to be called like a thief coming at night because they're not going to be ready to give up what they got. All right. If anything, they're going to be ready to bow down because freedom is going to be online. Life is going to be online. Your investment is going to be online. It's going to be it's going to be too much for them because what they have not been preparing.
Yep.
They have not been exercising their what is it? They have not been exercising their faith.
Yep.
You
They and
So
that's why Yahweh Shai said, "He that loseth his life for my sake shall find it, but he that findeth this life shall lose it. Part of you
That's right.
finding your life is everything that this society predicates itself on, leading to you being tied into a digital currency, a system set up to track and trace you, which is a slavery system. um, like the brother said, you're going to be put in dire straits where you're going to have to make a choice. You're either going to bow down to the beast system and you're going to take this device that's going to be implanted in you. And if you do so, that's you saving your life, which you're going to lose it.
That's
All right.
right.
And we're going to show you in the scriptures later on, okay, why you're not supposed to take it. Because if you take it, that's your ass pretty much,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But when you finish, I got that precept where Apostle Bar talks about no vision.
Yeah. That was it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. This is real quick. Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 18. And it reads, where there is no vision, the
Mm-hmm.
people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he. All right. And so, like the brother was going into, even if we read it again in a different translation, check this out. In the AMP, it also says, where there is no vision, the revelation of the Most High and his word, the people are unrestrained. So, in other words, like the brother said, we're in a time now where you can't say you didn't know, you can't
Mm-hmm.
say you ain't heard of it, okay? Because when they flip the switch and they bring this to everybody, okay, if you don't have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, okay, of the scriptures, as it says in Isaiah 33 and 6, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time, strength is thy salvation. If you don't have it, where there's no vision, okay, because the vision is speaking, you're going to perish. And that ties into what the brother said. Okay. When the scripture says Yahweh Shai is going to return as a thief in the night, that's what it's talking about, because it's going to catch you off guard. You're going to be ensnared into the system. That's the thief in the night part. It's going to hit you where you're going to be blindsided. It's going to be 3 o'clock in the morning. Martial law is going to hit the streets. And by the time you wake up, they're gonna grab you up, take the bag off your head. Next thing you know, you standing at a concentration camp at a chipping station.
Yep. Which with the by the way it seems right now Esau could be ready to really hit the worldwide with not worldwide but like certain important areas, cities, the country. He might be ready to hit him with a big FF to where
Oh,
when
yeah.
that big FF hits, it might shut down things.
Yep.
Like we've seen, the crisis, the energy fuel crisis, whatever, it's lifting up again. You see Spirit Airline, boom, gone. There's a
Yep.
lot going on right now. So Easter could really,
New, new antivirus as well.
or they yeah, that died, where I think 3 or 4 people, you know, uh, died. And, so Easter might be ready to come up with a big something, with a big FF, and then from there, you know, um, it might leave the whole world. It's like, yeah, it might leave the whole world in chaos. To where, like,
Yep.
like you remember the C-19 when it happened. How it
Mhm.
started, and then eventually it became so, oh, we can't control this shit no more. We gotta bring in, a few measurements in there how to maintain it. Where Israel
Yep.
could do something major right now, big, and leave people like fucking shaking out because we're in a time where Israel is ready to actually like show his horns, okay, through that whole depopulation. You remember that the Georgia Guidestone?
Correct.
Their
Yep.
main goal was to, unlive 7 billions and leave only 500 million people, man. So
Yep.
we might be in a time where Israel, is ready to start doing things like that, and then from there, the whole world is not going to be the same anymore.
Yep.
And then he's gonna come, he's gonna come in line with people, by deceiving them, which I might be jumping the gun, but I wanted to get Revelation 19.
Okay.
If you don't mind about Kushal, Revelation 19, we might as well get it up.
Mhm.
Revelation 19 and verse 20, I believe.
Yep. This is Revelation chapter 19 and verse 20. The beast was taken, the false prophet that wrought miracles before him,
Hmm.
with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast into the lake of fire burning with brimstone.
Right. So the key point there is it says which he deceived, them that he received the mark of the beast. You see that? So Esau is gonna deceive you. He's gonna lie to you. He's gonna trick you. All right,
Mhm.
to make you take the chip. The same way he deceived the people to take those jump shots.
Yep.
You know,
Back in
he
2021. Yep.
yeah, that he came in. You know, your body, your body, your choice, your freedom. And but what did he put on? What did he put online? Your
Mhm.
job, your freedom.
Your freedom
And,
online. And
yeah,
a lot of people fell for that, man. A lot of that, see, that pandemic era, that messed up a lot of people's lives. You know what I'm saying? People that lost family members, they didn't relationships went sour, divorces and everything. You
hmm
couldn't show up for a family reunion unless you had the jump shot. Well, what do you think he's going to do? See, all of that was called data. They collected all of that data, and so now, like the brother said, this remember, Kill Gates. He said it himself. If you wasn't afraid this past pandemic, wait till the next one hit. Now we're entering in an energy crisis, like the brother said. So now
yep,
you ain't got to worry about a jump shot this time. What you got to worry about is your lights cutting off, having gas, not knowing when you're going to get your next meal because the storehouses are starting to be emptied out because the
yep,
farmers have no fertilizer for you to grow your next crop. So guess what? By the time next year, you screwed.
you through.
So, like the brother said, he's going to trick you because just like they did with the pandemic era, now what we're entering into, they can make it so like, hey, you know what? If you take it, right, we'll do some, we'll knock off a certain amount of percentage on your mortgage payments. Or if you take
Hmm.
it, all right, we can clean your debt. If you
Yeah,
take it, that you see what I'm saying? So this devil, see, Esau, he plays upon your carnality. Esau is not spiritual. You see what I'm saying? And that's why the scriptures try to, it not tries to lock it, but the scriptures teaches us that you have to, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. You see what I'm saying? And the flesh and the spirit at wars with one another. And Apostle Paul mentioned that in Galatians the 5th chapter.
that's right.
So, like going back to the brother's point, you want to be exercising your faith right now, because when that time comes, you got to be willing to leave everything behind, whether it's
Mhm.
your house, your car, whatever it is that you have on this side. This is all temporal. The
That's
scripture
right.
says, "Be ye as pilgrims on the earth."
Yeah.
You got it.
So yeah, like the key point there is it was that he would deceive them that he received the mark of the beast. So meaning he's going to, you know, do a lot. He's going to do too much, man. Like
Mhm.
an example that we just mentioned was the C19. So let's go from there. Okay, let's jump to Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 33, Baba Kusha.
God.
And then while you get there, I want to get a quick picture right here. What Jack should be doing right now.
Mhm.
This is the book of we could First Samuel chapter 9 verse 9 says before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of the Messiah Yahweh, thus he spake, "Come, let us go to the seer, for he that is not called a prophet was before time called a seer." And I'm gonna read this in the AMP, and that's what Jake should be doing right now, man. You know,
Mhm.
you should be inquiring if you should be inquiring the Messiah Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. The first thing you need to do before you can get to the Most High is that you need to what, go through His men, the prophets. Okay,
Mhm.
it says that in the pieces formerly in Israel, when a man went to inquire of the Most High Yahweh, he would say, "Come, let us go to the seer, for he it's like for he who is called a prophet today was formerly called a seer." There you go.
Yep.
And that's the time we're in right now. Okay, we're in a time where Jack should be, like doing this, man, seeking after Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, you
Hmm.
know, early. You gotta do that early because you don't wanna, when everything, it's like when or hell break loose, and the our temptation is here. Now trying to rush and running around trying to inquire the Most High. It's gonna be too late, man. That's Amos chapter 8 is gonna be already in hand. Okay,
Hmm. Yep.
but you can appreciate the Akbar for sure.
Okay, Con. This is Ezekiel chapter 33, and I'm gonna start at verse 32 to 33. It says, "And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that hath a pleasant voice and can play well on an instrument, for they hear thy words, but they do them not." And this is why when Yahweh Shai was teaching the disciples, when he said when they was in the markets, he said, I think that's in Matthew the 11th chapter where he talked about it
You
is
want me? You
like
want me to grab it for you?
Khan, It's like he pretty much said in so many words, it's like you piped unto your fellows, and ye have not danced. You know what I'm saying? And the prophets, they're like, see, the scriptures speak about saying unto Yahweh a new song. This is the new song. But our people is not hip to the new song. You're not dancing to the tune of the beat. You got it.
This is the book over real quick. To back up the bird real quick. Let me see. Matthew chapter 11 and verse 16 says, but whereunto shall I liken this generation? It is like unto children sitting in the markets and calling unto their fellows and saying, we have piped unto you, you have not danced. We have mourned unto you, you have not lamented. For John came neither eating, drinking, and they say, he have a devil. The Son of a Man came eating and drinking. They say, behold, a man gluttonous and wine-bibber, a friend of publicans and sinners, but wisdom is justified of her children. But they keep on. It was verse 16 and 17. And like
Mhm.
brother just quoted.
Because that's what we're doing right now. Okay, we're like the brother said, we're the instrument, we're the mouthpiece of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. That makes us ambassadors, right? So continuing on, verse 33, it says, "And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then
Mhm.
shall they know that a prophet have been among them." Okay, so you're going to know that when the prophecy that was written aforetime comes to pass, and the men spoke it, okay, bringing it out, manifesting it, guess what? We're going to look back and say those men was telling the truth. You
Right.
remember
Yeah.
the Jake that came to the elders in New York, and he shot that video. And as soon as they got done, when they closed out a camp, he walked across the street. The brothers was giving a testimony. This was last year, and he pretty much walked up to him. He was like, "Yo," he was like, "Man, I'm dead serious when I say this." He was like, "I apologize because everything y'all been talking about, everything y'all been saying from the beginning, I see it now, and it's not, it's as plain as day." And he said, "I am so sorry. I apologize for not taking y'all seriously and everything." He goes, "I see it now, what y'all talking about, and y'all got it. Y'all got it."
Yeah.
And you're gonna have Jake like that. See, we're not too worried about it because that's why the apostles teaches us, as the scriptures also says, the only the elect is going to get it.
Yeah.
Right now, you may have certain Jakes where it's not their time to get it right now, but that doesn't mean that the Most High can't wake them up when all hell breaks loose, because you're gonna have brothers and sisters coming in at that last minute.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Every brother is given a different portion of faith, a different measure of faith.
And
So,
also
yeah, go ahead.
to back you up real quick. Also, yeah, yeah. Also, like there's a time for each individual to really wake up.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's right. So but that's pretty much it on that. You got anything else before we get the
The last one will be Luke chapter 8 verse 17. Going back with going ahead with Ezekiel 33 and 3. It says, for nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. So,
yeah.
hey, like again, we've been saying what we've been saying. The MOTB is this. The MOTB is this. Okay, we never changed our mind. Okay, we never. Oh, maybe MOTB is not the chip. No, never. We always kept. Okay, we always been. So we've been teaching the same thing over and over, right? And Jake,
Mm.
you scoffed, you mocked, you said what what you had to do. Okay, a nigga, there was one nigga that was eating a chip, trying to make mockery of the MOTB. Hey, that's cool. Do whatever you need to do, my man. You know. But one
Yeah.
thing is, the Heavenly Father Yahweh Shimmy Shot is gonna make everything be known. Everything that was hid is gonna be made known. It's gonna come abroad. Now the mark of the beast is about to is about to come abroad. Even right now, it's still like what I'm saying. It's no major like the C19 was. I mean, the jump
Mhm.
shot was, but
Yep.
MOTB eventually is going to be spoken on. It's going to be televised. It's going to
Yep.
be in your fucking markets. Okay, it's going to be in your workplace. Okay, it's
Yep.
going to be everywhere, man. It's going to be at the bank. Nigga, you want your money, nigga, you want your saving, nigga? Here's a chip waiting for you. You want to keep this job? Well, this is the newest way to identify yourself, man. There's no other way. The paper IDs, passports is done away, man. We don't deal with that shit no more.
And
You
you
see,
and
it's
you
gonna
know they
come
got
on board,
the ads. You
huh?
know they got that. You know they have the ads ready. The
Or yep,
commercials,
yep.
AI commercials, the ads, the propaganda. They already got that on lock, man. Like the
It's
brother
okay.
said, it's waiting on the right FF moment.
Yeah, it's okay. Wait for those ads to come out.
Yep.
Yeah, like a real quick. It's like before we go to the videos. On my workplace, they just they be installing new softwares to do with the the you know the talk man you speak to when getting orders down, and then the latest program they installed, man, I could tell you out here that shit is lined out with a fucking MOTB. Even the way you signed in, man, they
Mm.
already got scan code there, and I'm like, our cards we used to into the workplace. You can't scan those cards, when you sign in, right?
Mm.
You can't do that. But somebody already got those QR codes, those lines, the 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 already
Yeah.
installed. The machine's already installed. Now the whole program, the installed first was installed into my area I work in, but now it's been installed to the other area. So all the clocking machines, they're all similar now, and that
Mm.
system out here, it tracks you fucking down, man. You can't like all that Jake be doing stealing times and doing this and that. It's just about in my workplace, they're really about to start cracking down and get rid of people because you see what's going on worldwide. They're gonna be like, man, get out of here. We don't want you. You shouldn't be here fucking around. We see you. You can't lie to us no more because the whole system it tracks you down to the T. When I say to the T, these motherfuckers can access the camera and be like, okay, what's your number? Boom, boom, boom. Type it in. Boom. Here you are. There you go. Out of here.
Yep.
You know. Yeah, it's
Wow.
been installed already, man. And every time I go there, I'm like, man, this shit's getting worse. This shit is getting like it's it go make you money, but you like when you know too much, you see that ISO is everything is ISO installing is with AI and also trucking, and I'm like, damn.
Hmm.
I'm like, damn. Every time I go to work, I'm like, what the fuck is this now? You know, what we got going on here? But now it's already in place, and I'm like, why is ISO doing this right now? What do they know that we don't know? Remind you, Akia, this is Woolworths, one of the biggest fucking companies in Australia, man.
Mm.
You think they don't know what the future holds? What they're about to bring forth? They know.
Yep. That's right.
They're just preparing. They're preparing for the once that hits. We here. We ready for it.
Yep.
So yeah, man. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna quickly share go into this video. We know a couple of brothers have already done a lesson or two on this, so we're just catching up. But I'm gonna just play it. And this is fair use, by the way. All right, this is fair use. Make sure the audio is connected. Yep, it is. All right, let's go.
Well, a few years ago here on Redacted, we covered Sweden's bizarre microchip implanting story and their plan, which would have everyday citizens opting to have microchips implanted right into their bodies, right into their hands, the RFID or near field communications chips, or NFC, basically the size of a grain of rice. And thousands of Swedes took the plunge. And since this story first published, many more thousands have taken the plunge. The idea is that the chips would speed up your user's daily life, make their lives more convenient, access their homes, office, gyms, just swipe it right on your door or keypad and you're right in there. Here is one of the individuals lining up to get one of the chip implants and being able to get it poked right in the hands. Now, when the program started, the demand was off the there were waiting lists. Companies could insert these things. They couldn't insert these things fast enough. And then shortly after it won high praise from the World Economic Forum.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you want to track people and they let you.
Exactly.
That's on them.
So World Economic Forum is like, hey, this is great. And if you read the article, the World Economic Forum piece on this, they even point out that's not big deal. It's just like a simple, like a slight sting in when you get it. No big deal.
Imagine telling our youngest who hates shots, that you're just going to get this chip forever. It's only going to hurt for a little bit.
And it will be able to track everything that you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flash forward to 2026, and now these and where are things at with this program? We wanted to check in on this program, see how it's being floated for digital IDs, digital currency, how it's competing with the incredibly popular bank ID system in Sweden. It's very, very popular. It's almost at 100% usage. Bank ID system in Sweden, 100% up to.
So, in other words, what they saying for all of you listeners out there, all right, especially you camps that sat up there and said that, oh, it ain't the listen, he just said it's at 100% usage.
Yep.
Because
and you can even look it up. Did you? I just went on Google, right? Typed in bank ID system, right? I don't know. Let me see. Probably.
What'd you type in?
Huh?
What'd you type in?
Go on Google, type in bank ID system, and see the first thing pops up. Just read it and see or show it. Bank ID system. Yeah. Go down. Yeah, I think that's it, right?
Yep.
Is that the
that's what it's about.
When a bank ID says a bank ID system is a secure personal electronic, is that you see that coming up?
Yeah, a bank says a bank ID system, commonly known as bank ID, is a secure personal electronic identification method used for online authentication and digital signatures. It enables users to verify their identity via smartphone or computer, often using biometrics, which that's where the chip is going to be tied to, or a PIN allowing access to banking, government, and private services without multiple separate logins.
There you go.
And that's what, but see, we'll explain it as we go further within the lesson, right? But we'll get back to what he was saying.
Yeah, beautiful.
So I'll take this back a little bit.
With the incredibly popular bank ID system in Sweden, it's very, very popular. It's almost at 100% usage. The bank ID system in Sweden, 100%, up to 8.7 million users now across the country. It's basically their dominant digital ID system. So is there a marriage between like implanting yourself with these chips and using the country's digital ID system? Forget cash, forget everything. It's all digital now, and all they want to do is track you. Well, today we're thrilled to have Maria Z joining us today to talk all about this from Z Media and who's been watching, of course, she has very keen insights into watching how all of this tracking across these countries around Europe, through Australia, the United States, are unfolding, and watching this legislation that's been moving. Great to see you, Maria. Welcome back to the show.
Great. You both again. Thank you so much for inviting me. These particular chips, I will say from the outset, I'm not that worried about the microchips, and I'll explain why. The uptake, yes, there were a few thousand people that rushed to do it in the beginning, but I think that pretty much after 2018, that slowed down a lot. There was the initial rush of, a few thousand that said, yeah, this is great, and we're probably paid to do it. But it's not something that's widely popular at this stage.
And I got to interject because clearly she doesn't understand the elite's overall game plan. And just because it came out in 2018, started with Switzerland, right, where it took off for a short period of time, and then it kind of just died down. What she's not putting together is the fact that they needed a FF. And that was the reason why they introduced the DVOC, the pandemic, in 2020. And we're going to show you, because we have another video to prove what we're saying, that the pandemic was done on purpose to usher in a new era of surveillance that's going to go underneath your skin. That's something that she doesn't understand. So to go up there and to sit up there and say that I'm not so much worried about the microchip, no, you better fucking be worried about it, because it's the end game, and we're going to show you as we continue to go forward through this, right? But okay, let's continue. Just wanted to clarify that because she doesn't know what the hell she's talking about.
What I'm more concerned about, truthfully, is an admission from MIT that happened in November of 2025. So a publication from MIT News actually reads, quote, "New therapeutic brain implants could defy the need for surgery." Now, I'll read you a couple of quotes from this article. It is extremely alarming. MIT researchers developed microscopic wireless bioelectronics that could travel through the body's circulatory system and autonomously self-implant in a target region of the brain where they could provide, quote unquote, focused treatment, because it's about treating Alzheimer's and things of this nature, right? Not covert operations, everyone. In a study on mice, the researchers show that after injection, these minuscule implants can identify and travel to a specific brain region without the need for human guidance. Once there, they can be wirelessly powered to provide electrical stimulation to the precise area. So a couple of things here. We're talking about self-assembling nanotechnology that can form brain implants that is, one, done through injection, so vaccines, and two, does not need any human intervention once it's been administered through the quote-unquote vaccine. Now, we know, Clayton, that this is happening through geoengineering. Smart dust has been happening for a very, very long time. And we know that they can administer various types of nanotechnology that can be self-replicating, self-programming through vaccines and other medicines, and also potentially through our food. I'm actually far more concerned about the covert applications of this type of technology than I am about people going and implanting themselves. I dare say there could be quite a few people walking around with chips already inside of them without knowing it's actually there.
Yeah, but see what she doesn't understand, and now let's get into the scriptures and let's break it down properly. Brother, if you can go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, because what she just described about the nanotechnology and everything, that falls under Esau's lying wonders. Okay, that falls under his pseudoscience. All right, and I believe 2 Thessalonians 2, you can start at verse 7 and 8. The point is around, I think, 9 or 10, where it talks about his lying wonders and how if you don't listen, you're gonna yeah, go ahead.
This is the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 9. It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Keep reading.
Uh-huh.
And then it says, with all deceivedness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the light of the truth, that they should be saved. And
right.
For this cause, God should send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now let's tie that into what she just said, going back to the technological side of things. Yes, Esau is going to have other things, all right, to play into his new world order. But the main goal is to have everybody chipped. Okay, and that's the point she's missing. You can sit up there and say that you worried about the nanotechnology, the smart particle dust, what they are putting in the jump shots, what they're putting in our foods, the GMOs, and all of that stuff. Yep, that's cool. That also ties to what's mentioned in the book of Psalms, I believe, where it talks about what's that, Psalms 144, where it talks about his right hand is a right hand of falsehood.
Yep.
Okay, because it goes into his pseudoscience. And the matter of fact, that also goes right into, the brother brought it out in Revelation, the 19th chapter, to deceive them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And he's going to deceive you by working those miracles. Okay, his pseudoscience.
Yeah, those lying wonders.
Right. Okay, so
And
yeah.
real quick, I also to back you up as well. You know, when she mentioned that, you know, she's nowhere about the people going, you know, again, the implant chip into them. You know, she's more concerned about this, you know, the what Easter's doing without people knowing. Whether I believe that's a goddamn lie, because when you actually go to the book of Revelation, okay, 3 and 10, okay, this is gonna be our temptation, man. It's gonna be, it's gonna be made known unto you.
As a matter of fact,
That
I'll
this
get that.
is, yeah, can't, you know, this is gonna be made known and you know, it's gonna be made known unto all people that this is being introduced to you. You know, because you remember, I don't know if you remember, you had idiots that came. No, I wouldn't say idiots, but it was you know, legit questions I said came. Oh, what about if they force you to take it? What about if they what about if it's been put in here? It's been put here, and I don't know about it. You remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
When
Now
the heaven,
you're gonna know about it.
yeah, it's gonna be made known. Like the heavenly Father about Shem Yahshai, like he's gonna give you a it's a fair power, okay,
Yep.
balance. You know, so when that ship gets here, look, man, it's gonna be represented to you, because that's why the scripture says you know, some, you know, same brothers, believers and sisters are going to be put to death for not taking it.
For not taking it. And then it
Yeah.
tells you too, in the same token, it tells you that with that same temptation, he's going to make a way for you to escape. The only way you can know that that temptation is there, that our temptation, is when you're faced with it. So there's not going to be a situation where you're not going to know, oh, is this the mark of the beast? No, everybody's going to know, because one
Yeah.
of the key indicators in Revelation 13 and 17 is what? You will not be able to buy or sell. So the
There
moment
you
you walk your ass into Walmart, right? You Sam's Club, Costco's, wherever it is you shop, the Dollar Tree store, whatever it is you shop, you like shopping at, and you go up to the register and you try to pay through cash or whatever, it's like, no, we only accept chips. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
like
you're
remember that
gonna
one
know.
movie? I think it was a Tubi movie. It was the Tubi movie. It's a trailer that a little brother used when that woman goes to the store and she
Yeah,
was
it's
trying
on
to
Tubi.
buy
Yeah.
something, and people were like scanning their hand. Yeah, that's how it's gonna be, man.
I think it's on YouTube too. I just forgot what it's called, but yeah, you brothers, you can look that up. Basically, it was a video. I think it was based on a movie. It was on Tubi, and she went up to the cash register like the brother said, and she put all of the things that she wanted to buy, and then the guy asked for the total, and then she went to pay for her card or whatever. He was like, "Nah, we don't accept that." And
Yep.
then she was like, "Okay." Then she took out her cash, or he was like, "Nah, we don't accept that either." And then she was like, "Well, I'm confused because these are the only form of payments." And then a dude from behind her, he comes up wearing a Scully, right? And then the guy scanned his forehead. He had the chip in his head, just like what John the Revelator saw, okay, in their right hand or in their forehead. So once he scanned the guy, the payment went through. And then she just looked at him. And then she looked at her son, and then she looked back at the cashier, and the cashier was like, you got to have a chip or else I can't ring you up. You can't make a transaction. So that also goes into, just to give you an understanding of what that looked like, explaining that. But what we're saying here is you're going to know in that day. When you're not able to make a single transaction, whether buying or selling, you can't go to the store and get a gallon of milk, a carton of eggs, right? You're not going to be able to do that, man. Even so much as a bottle of water, you're not going to be able to do it. Matter of fact, Walgreens, they've already started to change their refrigeration section of all of their drinks and goods and stuff, and they replaced them with titanium steel doors with infrared signals, and they've already got the it's all touch screen now. It's all touch screen. Matter of fact, I'll try to see if I can find it. Basically, in order for you to open up the door, when they institute the chip, it's either going to scan your forehead or you have to wave your hand for the chip. That's at Walgreens, So now, if I can real quick, you know what? I might just finish this out because there's another point she wants to make, and then I'll jump to the other. Hold on. I hate when StreamYard does that. It kicked me out. All right, hold on. Salakia, y'all. Let me just get this back. All right, let's put this back. Okay, there we go.
For a very, very long time, as you both know, smart dust is essentially programmable dust. This is something that is not detected through the human eye. People talk about how it forms structures even on their walls. I mean, there's a lot of anecdotal information about what smart dust has achieved. But basically, when you're talking about the various chemicals that they're spraying, and that also, by the way, includes graphene, Dane Bookington has done independent testing of soil and air and things of this nature and found graphene immediately present after geoengineering has occurred. When you look at what they refer to when it comes to graphene, they say that it's essentially a miracle component that they have started using in medicine. And you'd recall Albert Bourla talking about how, in the future, we're going to have these pills that people can take and they'll tell us whether the person's taken it, what it's doing inside of their bodies. That, of course, is achieved through graphene.
Because for those of you brothers who don't know, and this came out during the pandemic, if you took that jump shot, it had the graphene, the lead within it. Now, the reason why they need people to have the graphene within their body is because it acts as a receptor, so that when they institute the chip in your body, it can be able to read the signal. It can give them a clear signal reading. So that's what graphite is basically used for. You can look it up. So basically, your body will be more susceptible to take the chip if you got the graphite already in your blood. And if it's in your blood, it can help to give the signal. That's why they rush to put up these 5G to 6G towers during the pandemic. All right. Because the guy, the creator of the microchip, his name is Dr. Sanders. Okay. And in the 90s, when he gave the testimony at church, he pretty much said, matter of fact, I'll go here and show you, because this is actually in the blue letter. So if you go to Revelation, I believe it's the 13th chapter. You come down here, you go to verse 16. And if you look this up on the blue letter and you go to commentaries, and let me see, I think it's John Brown. I think it's the second one, Revelation 13. And let me see, let me do a quick search. Yeah, here it is right here. So I'll quickly read this, Akia, then I'll get the next video. Now, this is in the commentaries. Hopefully you brothers can see it. All right, this is in the blue letter. See, a lot of you other camps, man, you got a lot of blood on your hands. Now, this is from the John Brown commentator, because don't get it twisted. These Edomite scholars, they know the truth too. Not all of them, but some of them too, because they watch the prophets. But it says here, I don't think that it was a coincidence that when I came into the office this week, there was a tape on my desk from Firefighters for Christ by a Dr. Carl Sanders. Dr. Sanders holds a PhD in electronics, in engineering and was the chief engineer responsible for the design and development of a microchip. Okay, Dr. Carl Sanders, look him up. That is so small it can be injected under the skin with a hypodermic needle. And we're going to show you, because I got other videos proving that the elites, this is what they want to accomplish. It says this chip was originally developed for the purpose of repairing several spinal cords so that people will be able to walk again. There were over 100 people involved in this project, of which Dr. Sanders was senior engineer in charge, right? And I'm gonna just get down to the nitty gritty. It says here, the investors in this project determined that the spinal repairs alone were not sufficient to give a proper return on their investment, so they began to look at other possibilities. They found that because of the electrical impulse produced by the chip, that it altered certain behaviors. That's the reason why she brought up the smart dust. That's why you need graphite, because the graphite helps to pull in that signal and to make the signal stronger than what it was originally. Okay. It goes on to say, for instance, and the pituitary gland of the female, it will put her immediately into menopause. The ability to conceive was immediately halted. This had already been tested in India. They also found that certain frequencies would produce increased amounts of adrenaline. This was called the Rambo chip, and it had been tested in Vietnam veterans. So this is proof that if you've been in the army and stuff like that, all right, but some of their soldiers, they would have already got the chip. Most of them have the chip right now.
Yep.
Right. But here's something what he said. Revelation 13. Yeah,
that's crazy that you know. Man, hold on.
Okay.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's just that's Satan just being a demon.
Yeah, man. Anyway, I was gonna say that's crazy that that was taking place during the Vietnamese War, because when you it's a movie that came out. It was about Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's called Universal Soldier. And guess what? Them soldiers were fucking chipped up, man.
They were chipped up. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is like, it came out in 1992, if I'm not mistaken. And that shows you that he's so, bro, this devil, man, he's been showing you what he's capable of doing. You know? And in that movie also, they were they were running experimentals on dead soldiers, bringing back to life. Either they were wounded, they'll give them some super strength.
Yep. That's right. So this is what they said. Now they break it down for you. Revelation 13:16, he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, in a New King James Version, to receive a mark on their right hand or their foreheads. It says, number one, Strong's G 5480, charagma, a thing carved, sculpture, graven work. Goes back to the root word, Strong's G 5482, charax, which means to sharpen to a point through the idea of scratching. This sounds a lot like a hypodermic needle piercing the skin. If you remember, last week we pointed out that the number 666 had a name, and that name was chi-sai stigma. Strong's G 4742, stigma, which means to stick or prick, a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. This is why we tell you brothers that this is a physical mark. It's not a spiritual. This is something.
Blue Letter Bible?
This is in Blue Letter Bible. I'll send it to you.
They're gonna be watching Great Millstone, man. What the fuck?
Check this out. It says, in the readout of this microchip, there were 9 levels of information that the designers wanted to include. They were your name, an image or picture of your face. They also wanted social security numbers with the extra international digits. A fingerprint identification was also to be included. Physical description, family history, address, criminal record, occupation, and income tax information.
Damn.
You see? So they're already telling you, right? Even this, and this is the last part I wanted to get right here. Revelation 16:2. So the first went and poured out his bowl upon the earth, and a foul and loathsome sore which goes into a cancerous pus. And why? Because radiation. All right. That's why you're not supposed to take it. It says, came upon the man who had the mark of the beast and those who worship this image. Now it says, this microchip is powered by a tiny lithium battery, which has a recharging circuit built in. Now, for those of you who don't know, look at this is the reason why they want people to get the electrical vehicles, because your electrical vehicles, such as Tesla, has the same lithium battery. That's why if it catches on fire, you can't put it out.
Yep.
So how much more the microchip? This is why it's gonna the batteries in it is going to be popping. That's why you're going to get a cancerous pus. And this is why we're putting a warning out not to fucking take it. Excuse my language.
Right? If people are gonna be blown out, it's just gonna be controlling you, put you out by blowing that battery up.
That's right. It says this charging system operates and is regulated by the changes in body temperatures. Dr. Sanders says that they spent $1.5 million on research to determine an optimal primary and secondary place in the body for this chip. The data that returned said that there were two placed in the human body that temperature changes most rapidly. They were, number one, the forehead just below the hairline, and number two, the back of the hand. You can't make this up. You can't make it up. Right? It says, now check this out. Dr. Sanders talked to a doctor at Boston Medical Center and asked what would happen with that concentration of lithium if the chip should fail. The doctor told him that you would get a grievous sore. Note that in Revelation 16:2, it says sword, not sores in the plural. They were not all over the body, but in one location. Is it possible that when the Lord sends this angel out, that all the lithium batteries will fail at the same time? Dr. Sanders points out that there were some breakdowns of the Rambo chip, and they indeed did cause a boil-like grievous sore. So this is what I mean. These scholars, they know what's going on. They know what's about to come. You see? Mm-hmm. Now, you got any presets you want to bring out before I jump to the next video?
I had a definition here.
Okay, bring it out.
It was biometrics, right? It says biometrics are automated methods of identifying or authenticating individuals based on unique physical characteristics or behavioral traits. So these are measurements such as fingerprints, facial structure, or voice patterns are used for security, access control, and identity verification because they are difficult to fake or steal unlike passwords. And that goes back into the whole he's gonna deceive you. He's gonna this chip is gonna be used to deceive you. Also, it's just gonna use as well as telling you hacking. You can no longer be hacked. Yep. Your passwords, hackers can get into your banks or whatever you got, they can do that. But if you do register, okay, do this a new system which is biometric, it could be your voice, fingerprints, okay, facial structure, all right. The key point is going to be fingerprints, okay, your hand, all right. And even your facial structure, because like you mentioned that when you go up, you read up. It says your facial is going to be taken as you take that MOTB.
Yeah,
I believe it was somewhat to do with your facial.
Yeah, they say it wants your image. It needs your name and the image or a picture of your face. Right there.
There you go. So that image, nobody's gonna be able to what is it? It's gonna be authentic. Is authentic the right word to use? Unique. It's gonna be you.
Unique.
Nobody
to you.
can go ahead. Use AI. No, it's just gonna be right there. Even your voice as well.
Yep.
And they already got the over here in Australia, the biometric system is already set up, because I know a few companies, even with Centrelink, you can call them and they've been asking people, if you wanna, the easiest way for us to access you and get and skip the line or skip the queue, register your voice to notify you. I'm like, what? Yeah.
Yep.
So it's already been built up here.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, everything that we're saying, we're gonna come over here, and this is from BBC. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you what's going on, okay, behind closed doors, because Jake don't know what's about to come. All right. So you know that it's talking about the chip. So now we're going to show you how they're going to introduce this in a way of causing the FF, right? Or what I like to call a wag the dog tell of event. This is Yuval Harari that's being interviewed from this reporter. Watch what he says.
COVID-19 crisis, which you call the biggest crisis of our lifetimes, does it to you represent, in the end, little more than a bump in the road, or is it something more profound than that?
I think that in our lifetime, if you think in terms of a couple of decades, it will be big. Not because of the epidemic itself, but even more so because of the economic and political consequences. But in the long sweep of history, thousands of years, no, I don't think it will be one of the big events of history. It could be a watershed event in several ways, like we discussed earlier with surveillance. People could look back in 100 years and identify the coronavirus epidemic as the moment when a new regime of surveillance took over, especially surveillance under the skin, which I think is maybe the most important development of the 21st century, is this ability to hack human beings, to go under the skin, collect biometric data, analyze it, and understand people better than they understand themselves.
And see, I'm going to take it back, because listen to what he just said. Because what is this whole talk about going under the skin, surveillance under the skin? Mm-hmm. It's talking about a microchip. You can't get around it. Listen to what he just said one more time.
Nah, man. It's talking about a camera under your skin.
Right. Come on, Jake.
People could look back in 100 years and identify the coronavirus epidemic as the moment when a new regime of surveillance took over, especially surveillance under the skin, which I think is maybe the most important development of the 21st century, is this ability to hack human beings, to go under the skin, collect biometric data, analyze it, and understand people better than they understand themselves. This, I believe, is maybe the most important event of the 21st century. The moment when a system out there knows me better than I know myself.
And see, this is what these devils want to achieve. Now, last one, this is from the Professor Richard Warner, okay? Expert in CBDC, central bankers want to chip you. This was 2 years ago. And there's not a lot of people that are playing videos like this outside of we here at Great Millstone. We're going to tie this all in, because never mind what the lady said in the first video in Redacted. Oh, I'm not worried about the microchips. No, we're going to show you why you should be. Listen to what Richard Warner had to say.
It's possible that even if you have to have CBDC in some form, that you're not destroying the banking system. If you do it the way China is doing it, now you have to remember, China only recently introduced their banking system, and it seems they were not willing to already give it up. They have already CBDC. It's still a pilot project, but it's introduced, among millions of people already. But it was introduced on purpose in such a way that it would not harm the banking system, and therefore is a more truthful sort of update of the old paper money. But of course, it still has the control aspect. So at least it's not killing the banking system. The way they do this is by requiring you to have a bank account in order to get CBDC. So it's not a direct account at the central bank. It's only through your bank that you can get it. You see how simple that is, and of course could be done over here, but they're not discussing it in say the ECB is not discussing it because you see their agenda is to get rid of banks. But this alternative exists. But then, of course, the key problem is this control aspect, which at the moment they haven't stepped up in China, but that can be introduced any time. And that, of course, is a concern. Also, they never talk about the nature of this CBDC. What is it actually going to look like? They never talk about that.
Now listen close.
But I heard one European central banker tell me what it's going to look like. He saw it. He was invited to one of the old central banks in Europe that are very much promoting this. And they showed him. And, he's a top, executive director of another central bank in Europe. And there's no reason to believe that he was telling me a story. And he was around this large and would be implanted under your skin. So that is the plan.
Right.
And of course,
you see what he said? That is the plan.
Mm-hmm.
He said it's this small and it's going to go right underneath your skin. Same thing Yuval Harari said on BBC News.
Yep. And then
going
back in going back over was that Alex Jones was interviewing
Aaron Russo.
Yep.
So I'm gonna listen to what Richard Warner said again in case you've missed it.
And that, of course, is a concern. Also, they never talk about the nature of this CBDC. What is it actually going to look like? They never talk about that. Right. But I heard one European central banker tell me what it's going to look like. He saw it. He was invited to one of the old central banks in Europe that are very much promoting this. And they showed him. And, he's a top, executive director of another central bank in Europe. And there's no reason to believe that he was telling me a story. And he was around this large and would be implanted under your skin. So that is the plan.
Right. That is the plan.
And of course, that has other implications on top of what we've mentioned, on top of the control aspects, because that actually enters your body. In my view, violates human dignity, and can be then used for even in terms of functionality beyond the monetary and economic transaction purposes. So highly dangerous and definitely something we have to oppose. And so using cash.
Yeah, but see, and when he says definitely something we have to oppose, hey, this is the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Okay. Because when it all comes down to it, going back to Revelation 3:10, you either want to take it or you're not going to take it. Now, one quick point. When you come back to the blue letter, you go to Revelation, because it mentioned lithium batteries, right? When you go to Revelation, the 16th chapter, which we read, verse 2, talking about that grievous sore, and we go into commentaries again. And this time, I think we go to, is it Jameson? Let me see real quick. Nah, it's John Brown. Yeah, it's got to be John Brown again. Yep, here it is, John Brown. Number 2. And this is what this scholar said. It says, I'm going to just get to the point, letter A. It says, as we discussed in earlier chapters, these foul and loathsome sores could be a result of the angel simultaneously popping the lithium batteries that power the womb-to-womb microchips implanted under the skin of all those marked by the beast. You can't get around it.
That's right.
Right? And Salakia, let me put it back up on the screen so the brothers can see, because I didn't share it. But there it is right there. All right. And this is in the commentaries, John Brown, Revelation 16:2. So these scholars, they know. So all you dudes, again, as we say, damn near almost every lesson we do, All of y'all that's piss farting around, that's not taking the truth seriously, that's saying everything else of what the mark of the beast is other than what it actually is, and that's the RFID microchip. Okay. The Lord gonna visit you, man.
That's right.
You got a lot of blood on your hands.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so tying it back to you know what she said and redacted, okay, because this thing, this right here, that graphite, again, that's used to strengthen the signal. So when they insert that chip into you, okay, and they got those 5G towers up, okay, they're pushing for 6G now because China already got it. Yeah, man, it's going to be trouble, man. That amount of radiation in your body, it's not going to stand a chance. That's why the scriptures calls it a grievous sore, a cancerous pus.
You're just going to be dropping dead left, right.
That's right. You know, so this is why, you know, it's important that if you're hearing this truth, all right, like the brother said, the scriptures even tell you, seek ye Yahweh while he may be found. Okay, call him while he is near. He's still here through the servants, the prophets, beginning with the apostles, the bishops, and elders on down. Because we're entering into a time now where, as the brother said, shit is getting tight around here, and it's also getting scary around here because you don't know when you're going to get your next meal. You don't know if you're days away of getting fired for your job because guess what? You know, a lot of things they have to cut back on because gas prices are too high, diesel prices are too high, storehouses are being empty. They're telling, I don't know how bad it is back in the States, but here in Australia, every day on the news, okay, they're fear mongering people, telling people to stockpile now, stock up now while you can. They're actually forcing people to panic buy.
Yeah, even like economy as well. They really are pushing a fear among people right now. People are fucking panicking right now, man. You know, people buying houses and people who got mortgages are fucking crying right now because when you turn the news on, the news you're hearing is the bad news. It's bad news.
Yeah.
Nothing good is coming in. You know, nothing good is being spoken on TV, and you know, he's just doing it on purpose. So, you know, like the scripture says, we can't be ignorant of Satan devices. And so, what he's doing right now within the news is he's basically, you know, programming people to be fucking angry, man. You know, like the scripture says, because iniquity shall abound, the love of men shall wax cold. People like walking around, driving around angry, losing their temper easily. So, you know, he's doing it on purpose because he knows what he's doing, man. You know?
Oh yeah.
He wants these people to fucking lose their minds.
Yep. And that's why you know what, let me just get it since we quoted it. Because we quoted it earlier, but real quick, this is Isaiah 33 and 6. It says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. See, when you have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, we can also compare this to Ephesians 6 because you're going to need it in this time where it talks about the armor of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. It says Ephesians 6:10, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai and in the power of his might, and put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Okay. Now the armor represents this truth, right? And when you go into the wiles, the word wiles there, let me get that real quick. The Greek.
Strong's G 3180, Methodiah.
Outline biblical usage says cunning, arts, deceit, craft, trickery. Okay. Remember, this devil going all the way back to the garden, he was known as more subtle than any beast of the field.
That's right.
So how does this play a part in the trip? Well, the brother mentioned it earlier. When they bring it out, okay, they're going to do little things to try to get you into a carnality mindset to want to take it. They can set up snares, traps for you. They can play upon your flesh. They could put you in dire straits, situations where you're going to be fiending like, damn, man, I got to feed my children. I got to feed my wife. Right? But what did Yahushua say? He that loveth his father, his mother, his sister, his brother, roughly paraphrasing, more than me, cannot be a disciple of mine. You can't follow him.
That's right. Yeah. You're going to have to deny yourself, man.
So this is real, man. Okay. All that talking, all of that nonsense and going, nope, we're not going back and forth with nobody. This is it, man. It is what it is.
And there's no turning back.
No, at all.
Yeah, we ain't going back in 2000. We're not going back to 2019 or 18.
Nah. Them days is over with, man.
It's down with me.
I think it's Revelation 20.
12.
Yeah. Real quick, Revelation 20:4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither have received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with a Mashiach 1,000 years. Because essentially, we understand that there's going to be certain brothers that's going to be martyred for this truth. They're going to deny taking that chip, and they're going to be beheaded for it. Okay, but the balance to that is Yahushua also said that there'll be some of you standing here today that shall not taste death. Okay, that was talking about right now. So you got brothers walking on the earth that is found written in the book of life where they're going to be in a tight situation, but the Yahweh Shah is going to recover them.
Yeah,
they're not going to taste death.
For you.
Go ahead, bring it up.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 11. It says, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death.
Yep. So basically, what it's saying is you have to be willing, because this is what the straight gate means in Matthew the 7th chapter. Enter in at the straight gate. For wide is the gate and broad is the way. This is a narrow path to get to the kingdom of heaven. It ain't a green grass with a white picket fence. No. You're gonna have to go through it. Hey, what's that in First Peter 4:17? I think it is. The righteous shall be scarcely saved.
That's right. Yeah.
Nah, man. The Lord is looking. Hey, Yahushua said it himself. When I come back, shall I find faith on the earth?
Yeah, Jake don't know, man. That they don't know what the fuck is about to come up on the earth, man.
And what did John the Revelator say? Revelation. I gotta get that. You got to get that.
You got to get it.
Okay. Yahushua said it. Shall I find faith on the earth? What did John write down to us? Revelation 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee the crown of life. So you got to ask yourself, are you willing to have it end it all, not looking back, even if it costs you your life? Because the scriptures is already telling you got the victory. How far are you willing to take it? That's the mindset you got to try to be in, man. And like the brother said earlier, you a lot of you jakes out there, you're not exercising your faith right now, because when that moment comes, you either going to stand 10 toes down for Yahweh Shema Shai, even if it costs you your life, or like Yahweh Shai said, you're gonna find your life by taking that chip, and then guess what? Your ass gonna be put right to death. You want to lose it.
Yep.
I remember I forgot the elder's name, but he said this about 3 years ago. He goes, if it's written in your lot to die on his side, choose how you. Salakia?
I said, if it's written, like, if your path was to,
Yep.
come here, preach, and now the end of this road is for you to be put to death for the truth's sake. Yahweh is not going to change. It's not going to change stuff for you, man. Look what happened to Yahushua. Hey, he got tough and tougher He prayed if there's another way, but there was no other way, and that's when he
Yeah.
knew, okay, this is it. Like, what can I do? He accepted, So
Yep.
it's gonna
And
come.
yeah,
So
he and just to back you up, brother, just on that, because that's a beautiful point. The water for bringing that up. Remember too, he was so, because he was in the flesh, so he experienced what we're experiencing right now. He had all of these thoughts running through his mind. This is the Son of the Most High, the first spirit ever created. See, many of you Christians, you get the idea like when Yahushua walked the earth, when you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, like, yeah, he was the man and everything, but you act like he didn't have those thoughts. Like, remember, he was in the flesh. Okay, he was fighting demons. He was rebuking.
Mhm.
And when it came down for him to accept his fate, as Paul wrote the epistle, he became obedient unto death. Because remember, right? Like the brother said, he prayed to Yahweh 3 times and asked for him to pass this cup from him.
But nope.
So when the soldiers were coming in that night to arrest him, right? Remember, there's a part in the scriptures where it says because you got to imagine what he must have been feeling. Big bro was so scared, he was sweating blood. That's in the scriptures.
Mhm.
Yahweh Shah was sweating blood, man. Imagine that. His body was so stressed on what he had to go through, but he knew he had to go through it.
Yeah, he knew, like, he understands, the path, man, which is that's the reason why the apostles always say, like, do you know what you get yourself into? Like, do you like, did you, like, this is something lighter, man, or you can't tell the truth lightly, because here right now we're still here, we make our videos, we go to work, but the time is gonna come where we're gonna get into we're gonna be in the same position that Yahushua was in, man. The scripture says that we are to follow the steps of Yahushua. We are to, as he suffered, we gotta be willing to suffer as he suffered. And we are gonna suffer as he suffered, man.
Hey,
But the only thing is the only thing is that Yahushua is gonna make our burdens lighter, because he covered the things that could be the heavy things that could fall upon us. I believe Yahushua covered those things, but guess what? He's still gonna he's still gonna put us through that fire to be tried, as gold is tried in fire, man.
That's right.
That's what the scripture says. Then shall be known who am I chosen of.
Then it should be known who am I chosen. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, remember Zebedee's 2 sons. Remember Yahushua said, ye shall drink the cup indeed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I'm that's gonna be my last scripture for me. If you don't have any.
The last scripture we're gonna get, you can go to the next chapter, will be Revelation 3 and 10.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, Revelation 3 and 10. And then before you get that one, let me get this out of the way real quick.
Go ahead.
Let me get this out. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 6, I think. No, 5 says, it says, yeah, also, let me start from verse 4. It says, behold, he saw which is lifted up is not upright in him, which is, this is talking about Esau. Him trying to, implant that microchip into a human being, that's ridiculous. It's fucked. And also at the same time, it's opposing against Yahweh Hashem Yashar, because Esau wants to be the most pursuant to the book of Ezekiel 28. That's why, this microchip, like I said, this has to go with his NWO, because he wants a full control. He wants to be, he wants to play that role of the Mossad, but it ain't gonna work out, because the Mossad is gonna turn around. The Mossad is gonna turn around and be like, pursuant to the book of Ezekiel 28. I might be butchering it, but he's gonna turn around, and look at you like you're just a fucking man. Okay,
Yep.
he ain't no power. You're just a base man. Okay, a piece of shit. Okay, a cockroach is more worthy than you, Esau. Okay, that's how it's gonna be for you. Anyway, it says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. And the just here represents the elect. We're gonna live by our faith in these last days. Okay, that's what's gonna keep us going. Is our faith, believing, okay, that Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh exists, that He is. All right, it's gonna keep us going. You know, Lord willing, we had those men. Okay, who's gonna be strengthened in these last days. You know, to in faith to keep going forward, to strike forward. All right, verse 5 it says, "Yea, also because he transgressed by one, this is going to Esau his philosophy and his this new world order system of his." All right, he says he is a proud man, neither keep it far home. Yeah, wherever you go, you gonna find Esau over there. And now he wants to move. He wants to move further by putting something into your under your skin to track you, okay, to control you. You know, he wants to know what the fuck you are every single second, what you're doing in your within your within your own household, what you're doing with your woman. What the fuck, man? Okay, he says, who in Elijah his desires hell exactly, and is as a death and cannot be satisfied. He still can't be satisfied with what he got going on right now. So he gotta what? He gotta cut into you and tap into you, man, and control you. That's fucking insane, man. That's insanity. He says, but gathereth unto him all nations, and that's what he's doing right now. Okay, New World Order.
Yep.
It says, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. And the way he's gonna do that, or because we know he's not gonna be able to accomplish it. The way he's gonna try to do that, okay, I gotta use the word try because he will never accomplish that NWO, is through the microchip. That's how he's gonna try to heap unto himself all people. Okay, through the microchip, man. You know, that was my that was on that, and then we can hit Revelation. If you got that one, can I read Revelation 3 and 10?
Yeah, Revelation 9, was it?
3 and 10 real quick. I'll get it for you, Aki. You can hold what you got right now.
It's all good. It's all good.
Okay, beautiful.
Okay, this is Revelation 3 and 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
Yeah, and that's going into this microchip. Okay, that's going to be the hour of temptation, man. It's everybody's going to be tried. Okay, everyone is going to be tried. The only ones going to overcome this trial, the elect. Okay, they're the ones who's going to overcome it through the blood of Yahushua. But the rest of you, 2/3 of our people in North America, you're not going to overcome it. Okay, you're going to take that chip. You're going to be burned by that fire. And you ones who are scattered around the four corners of the earth, you know, sickness, disease is going to break upon you. Okay, like the brother was going into that whole little battery that's going to be in that microchip. It's going to be, it's going to fry you up, man. Okay.
Mhm.
You know, Yahweh Shemshah got something prepared for you, Jack Scott around the four corners of the earth, who's gonna take that chip. You know, there's something, definitely for you that you're gonna feel, man. Okay, and this is gonna be worldwide thing, man. This ain't just gonna be the Western countries. No, it's gonna be worldwide. All right.
Yep.
Okay, because Easter, remember, he wants full control, and then another thought that just came to me right now is the depopulation. Okay, well, there was a video. I don't know. We didn't get a chance to do it. It was in a Reddit, and they were going into how this third world country are already getting hit by famine of food. Well, Easter's gonna make that shit worse and worse for them. Okay, and people's gonna be dying because what? Lack of food, and that is under the those writings that was written on Georgia Gaston, depopulation. Okay.
Yep.
So the more he takes out, the more people that he can put to death. So the more people he can unlive, the better his system is gonna be. When he brings that chip out, man. You see.
Yep. That's why Yahweh Shai said, except the days be shortened, no flesh shall be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
That's right.
You know, that's why the Lord is speeding up everything now. That's why, like, you know, you wake up, before you know it, 4 hours then already went past, and you like, damn, where did the time go?
Yeah.
You know, and the scientists not too long ago, a few months, they even said they was thinking about speeding up the clock 0.5 of a second, because the Earth is spinning a lot faster than it was like 10 or 20 something years ago, they said, when they did the study. But they didn't do anything to the clocks, but they were considering it, because they was like, we're spinning so fast. So hey, we at this end, man. Esau, you're just, you know, you're on borrowed time right now.
That's right.
You're on borrowed time right now. And the rest of you Israelites, you better repent, man. You better repent, or before it's too late. So, you know, that's pretty much it for me. Aki, you got anything else you want to close out with?
That's everything, Akia. That's everything. You know, I got right now. Nothing else.
Okay.
You said you're gonna get a. Were you gonna grab a precept?
Oh yeah, I just remember now. Salakia.
Yeah,
Matthew 20.
Yeah, there you go.
Matthew 20, and because Zebedee with her sons, actually, I was shot. This is real quick. Matthew 20 and 20. Then came to him the mother of Zebedee's children with her sons, worshiping him and desiring a certain thing of him. And he said unto her, what wilt thou? She saith unto him, grant that these my two sons may sit, the one on thy right hand and the other on thy left, in thy kingdom. But Yahushua answered and said, ye know not what ye ask. Are ye able to drink of the cup?
Are you there? What's going on here? Okay. Let me do this.
All right. Can you hear me now?
We there?
Yeah, we there. All right.
We still going?
Yeah, Esau was messing with my Wi-Fi, like everything turned off, and then the cable just turned itself back on. The modem just reset. Fucking devils, man.
But we're still going YouTube, bro, right?
Esau, fucking devil, man. I swear.
And
we're
almost done too.
But yeah, just to quickly end it, basically what Yahushua was saying to Zebedee's two sons is like, look, you know, you're asking that, you know, if you can sit with me, this, that, and the third. But what I want to know is, are you willing to drink the cup that I gotta drink?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as much as say, that's why the scriptures talk about, you know, you're supposed to carry your cross, right? Entering into the straight gate. The Yahushua also spoke about endure hardness as a good soldier. You know, so all of these things, you know, goes back to 2 Corinthians 13 and 5, where it talks about examine thyself to see if you be in the faith.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he said in Matthew, watch and pray, because the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. When this chip gets instituted again, right? And this is why you brothers should also get used to saying in your prayers if you haven't been saying it, but saying your prayers, Yahweh Shemel Shai, please keep me and give me strength, to reject this chip when it comes, and let me not, turn away from you. Give me a spirit to reject and let me not turn away from you. Keep, take not thy Holy Spirit off of me, like King David prayed.
That's right. Yep.
Because like the brother said earlier, we don't know what our lot is, but nevertheless, that's pretty much what it is. He told the sons, like, look, you gonna have to drink that cup, man.
Yeah. If you want to be in it.
That's right. So that's pretty much it, Akim. And Salakia too, Shalom, Yahbashim Shabaraka thumb to you, Akim, on the comment board. And Salakia, I'm just seeing all the beautiful precepts you brothers been adding to the lesson. So I do apologize for that. But yeah, brother, if you ain't got nothing else, we'll close it down.
Yeah, that's everything off here. That's we basically covered what we needed to cover in the lesson.
Okay, Khan, yeah. And so with that, hey, we want to give all praise, glory, and honor be to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh, Bahasham, Makaha, honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect, the tabernacle of David. And it's on to the next Abaratazah. Shalom. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.